Kathy is making charity quilts. Diann is struggling to find the perfect fabric match, and Laura has a fabric secret she's going to share with us. We're going to help them out. Hi, it's Fran Morgan with Fabric Cafe, and I'm your fabric matchmaker. Today we have 3 participants that sent in floral fabrics. And you know, floral fabrics are not as easy to match sometimes as we hope they are. Now I have 3 tips that are going to help them out, and they're going to have some beautiful quilts. Our first participant is Kathy, and she sent in this beautiful floral. I love all of the warm tones on this floral. It is really striking. And you know, it's got just a little bit of a blue background, which is very beautiful, and just what a gorgeous large flower. So let's see what Kathy has to say about this fabric. Kathy writes, I was gifted this fabric from a quilter's stash since everyone who knows me knows that I love to make charity quilts. I really don't want to cut it up into small pieces as this print is so pretty just as it is. I was thinking of some sort of blenders or tone on tone, but I am having a hard time with just the right tones. Any help would be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much, Kathy. Well, Kathy, I think you are right on target with this. So we have chosen the perfect pattern. Let's go check it out. So Kathy, I have chosen the Elation pattern for your fabric. And I love this, well, one, I love this pattern altogether because it's just such a great one, but it's going to be perfect for your large print, your magnolias, because it's going to go in this big square here and it's really going to show them off. Now, on the border, we've got our 2 and 3 on the border here. It's not just a plain border, it's got a little bit of interest with our half square triangles here, and it gives a little bit of movement, and it's really going to showcase your fabric. So let's go check out what we have put with your fabric. Now, Kathy, we have put your fabric in the #1 position, which really works perfectly in this Elation pattern. So I'm just going to move this over so that you can see it on top of the quilt, simply because if you were cutting these squares out, and I'm just going to fold it over here, kind of a similar size as we have on the quilt, so that you can see how much of your fabric is going to show in this nice size block. So my #1 tip when choosing a pattern for your fabric is to consider scale. And in your case, we have your beautiful floral here that is quite large. So we need a block that is larger so that you can see all of these gorgeous warm tones in your fabric and really see that this is a floral. I think the Elation pattern works perfect for this. So we're going to move this back over here. So big, nice block here. This is where your fabric is going to go. Now for #2, and I think you mentioned this in your letter about these tone on tones, and this is kind of what we're going to do for you, Kathy. We're going to keep the #2 fabric this nice warm white. Now it is a texture, so it's a tone on tone. So when you look at it, there's a little bit of movement in it. This is going to go everywhere the white is on this one. And as you can see, it really gives it some brightness in your fabric, but keeps that warmth, which is very important. Okay, now I pulled a really cool one on you here, our #3 fabric. It also is, I hate to say that it's a tone on tone. It is a nice cream, but it has a metallic gold print. What that is going to do is it is going to bring sunshine and light into your quilt and really help these florals pop. Because the gold reflects light, that is what you want whenever you're doing these kind of a monochromatic color scheme here. Now this gold is going to frame your fabric everywhere the green is and on the border. You can see we have a little on our half square triangles here. It is going to just be yummy. Sometimes I wish that you guys were right next to me so that you could see this, because this gold is really scrumptious. And sometimes on camera it doesn't always come across, but it is amazing. All right, Kathy, this is really going to be gorgeous, and whoever the recipient is going to be so appreciative. So I love it that you're doing charity quilts. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's check out an image of this quilt all pulled together because it is really yummy. So as you can see, that nice big block on Elation is showing off your floral perfectly. And remember, our tip here is scale, and you can see how well it works here. We've paired it with 2 more simple prints to give that nice frame, and that gold really brings the daylight in and the sunshine in. So I really love this. And once again, this is the Elation pattern. Now, Kathy, for participating today, I will be sending you 1 yard of the number 2 fabric and 1 yard of the number 3 fabric, as well as the book, Stash Busting with 3-Yard Quilts. This book has the Elation pattern in it, as well as some other really great patterns. So I hope you really enjoy it. And don't forget, if you make this up, I would love to see a picture. Be sure to send it to matchmaker@fabriccafe.com. Okay, for everyone else, Kathy has inspired something beautiful, a very large floral just like hers. In this case, we found something that's got some pinks and these beautiful kind of burgundy wine colors in here, some greens. Once again, a very large scale print, gorgeous floral, is going to fit perfect in our focus position on our Elation pattern. So that will go everywhere you see this print here. Now we have paired it with a similar number 2 here, a nice cream to kind of give your eye that place to rest. And it does pick up some of the creams in our floral. That will go everywhere you see the cream on this one. And then as our number 3, sticking to that tone on tone, like Kathy mentioned, great idea, Kathy, we're going to pull in this nice kind of wine color that picks up the backgrounds in here and some of our florals. That is going to go where the green is here. Now that's going to give us this yummy pop, even though it's a little bit more of a darker color than what we used on Kathy's quilt. It works perfect. Trust me, let's look at the image. You can see for yourself how gorgeous that floral is in that focus position. And that nice burgundy wine color is just framing it so nicely. And the cream really helps the design of the Elation pattern pop. And it is just so great. All right, let's get you some kit information on this. This kit is called Magnolia Blessings. It is our Elation pattern in the Stash Busting with 3-Yard Quilts. Now our next participant is Laura, and she sent in this really sweet floral fabric. It is on a black background here. We have some nice pops of gold in the floral, some pink, some blue, and the bright green leaves are very, very sweet. Let's see what Laura has to say about this fabric. Laura writes, "Dear Fran, Donna, and all the amazing Fabric Cafe crew, I saw this fabric at my first Guild meeting swap in July of 2021. I instantly knew I had to have it. It evoked strong nostalgic memories of all the cute floral dresses my mom made for me as a child. This fabric is similar to a dress she made when I was about 6 years old. She made me a life-size cloth doll and we had matching dresses. One day, I ripped my dress climbing over a fence. Rather than tell my mom, I switched dresses with my doll. I never did tell my mom about the switch. I want to make a throw-size quilt for my mom out of this fun and cheerful fabric, but I only have just barely a yard. I have tried to match it with blues and yellows, but just can't seem to find the right match. I am also struggling to find the right pattern because I don't want to waste an inch. Please help. Sincerely, a big fan, Laura." Well, Laura, I think we have really fun, and I don't think your secret is safe with us anymore. So I hope your mom loves the quilt. Let's check out what we've chosen. Laura, I chose the Simply Strips pattern for your fabric. Now there's some reasons here that we did this. Now we talked about scale before, we're going to talk again. This is a little bit smaller block, so your scale of your floral is going to work perfect in this, and it's really going to be great. Now I've chosen 2 fabrics, and we're going to see those in just a minute, for our 2, which will go where the pink is, and the 3, which is where the black is here, that are a little bit more subtle but still have a lot of interest, and it works perfectly in this pattern. This is a super fast one. It's going to go together great for you, and it looks fantastic in your fabric. Let's go check it out. Now, Laura, we have put your fabric in the focus position in our fabric stack here, and it will go in the focus on your quilt. So this white area here is where I would place your fabric. Now, I want to kind of mention first the tip that we mentioned earlier, and to remember scale. In this case, you have a smaller floral, so we're putting it in a little bit smaller block. The second tip that I want to share with all of you is when you have a small floral like this, or any other print, you want to make sure that your companion fabrics don't overwhelm the focus fabric, because after all, it's the focus fabric. It should be what you're focusing on. So we're trying to pick two coordinating fabrics that really enhance your focus fabric. And in this case, I think we've done it. So your focus fabric, beautiful here with all of our gold flowers and green leaves on the black background. It's going to really pop off of our number 2 yellow and our number 3 green. So what we've done is we've brought in a soft yellow. It is going to go everywhere the pink is. And what this does is we didn't try to match your gold really specifically. We picked something that had multi-layers of tones. So we have some light yellows all the way up to some darker golds in this print so that it coordinates with your flowers but doesn't overwhelm it. So we kept it very simple and very soft. Now for number 3, we have this great green. You know, honestly, whenever I first thought of doing this, I thought, oh my goodness, is this going to be just overwhelming? Wait till you see the image. It's really sweet. So we brought in our green. Now the interesting thing about this green too, it's a tone-on-tone print here. We have a little diamond, and the diamonds are in all different colors of green with this green background. It is picking up the green leaves. So remember I say we need companion fabrics that help enhance our focus fabric. In this case, it enhances it because it helps your eye see the green in the leaves. And that is going to really help frame it. So this green fabric is going to go everywhere the black is here. Just that little touch, and it's going to give us a really nice border and binding to frame all of it together. All right, let's check out an image of this so you can see how sweet this turned out. So we have Laura's fabric here in the focus position, perfect scale, a smaller block with a smaller print, 2 companion fabrics that are tone on tone that do not take away from the focus, but is perfect companions to help bring out the colors in her focus fabric. Now, Laura, this is going to be a super fast pattern to pull together, and it's really happy. I really like the way it turned out, and it's just super sweet. Hope your mom loves it. We are going to be sending you, Laura, the book Quilt Favorites, which is what the Simply Strips pattern is in, as well as 1 yard of the number 2 and 1 yard of the number 3 fabric for participating. Thank you so much. All right, let's see what she has inspired for everyone else. Okay, so Laura has inspired for everyone else a very similar kit. And once again, in our focus position, we have a smaller floral so that we can remember our scale rule. And it is going to go in these smaller blocks and a little bit on the border there. And then, of course, our second rule is to choose companions that don't overpower your focus fabric. So in this case, we have a beautiful kind of a pinky orange kind of dot, which is very sweet. This is going to pick up all of those peach tones in our focus, which once again, that's very important because this is going to help us draw out the beauty of our focus. This peach is going to go everywhere the pink is here. And this is kind of a pinky peach. I don't, that salmon kind of color. Now, as our number 3, we are bringing in a textural black. Now, this black kind of goes gray. I would say it's more charcoal than black, really. And that is going to go everywhere you see the black on this quilt. And what this does is it gives us our frame. And it's going to help bring out, because this is a dark background too, because that's one of the things I love too, picking the number 3 that matches the background. So this is really going to just be subtle. It's going to give you a nice pop of color, and it's going to really help you focus on that focus. So let's check out the image on this one. I think it turned out so sweet. I just think this is such a fun, fast pattern, very easy to do, and it is perfect for these smaller kind of prints because it just helps with that sweetness, and I think it goes together so well. That black being on the border really frames it nicely, and it's just so, so nice. So let's get you the kit information on this one. This kit is called a Floral Nostalgia. It is our Simply Strips pattern from our book, Quilt Favorites. Diann has sent us this gorgeous fabric, and this is one of those fabrics that whenever you see it, you kind of go, oh, it's just so pretty. It has a black background, which is very dramatic and striking. We have these beautiful crimson red florals on here, some greens, some golds. All of it is outlined in a metallic gold with little gold sprinkles in the background. It is striking. Diann, this is beautiful fabric. I completely understand why you want to make sure you get just the right thing here. And of course, we want it to be the focus of the quilt. So we're going to help you with that. But before we do that, let's check out what she has to say about her fabric. Now, Diann writes, "Hi, Fran and everyone at Fabric Cafe. Thank you for the fantastic tips you provide on your show. I have found them invaluable. I only started quilting last year when I was 69, so it's never too late to start. I purchased this fabric last year because I fell in love with it. Unfortunately, I can't seem to find the right fabric 2 and fabric 3. I did try to use the dots on the selvage method you explained, but I'm still struggling. It might be fear of making the wrong choice for this fabric that I love. I'm also struggling to find the right pattern to showcase this fabric. I desperately need your help, so any assistance you can provide will be greatly received. Kind regards, Diann." Well, Diann, I think I completely understand where you're coming from, and it might be a little bit of that apprehension of doing the right thing, but we're going to help you out and get just the perfect thing. Let's check out the quilt pattern that we've selected. Now, Diann, for your beautiful floral, I have chosen the Evening Stroll pattern. Now, there's a couple of reasons here. Of course, we have a nice size block here that's going to showcase your floral beautifully. Now, also, we have chosen this because of the extra kind of interest on these block borders that we have. We've put your fabric with a more simple 2 and 3, which is really going to help your floral pop, but this interest here is going to be fantastic on there as well. So let's get it up on the table and let's dive into that a little bit deeper. So Diann, we have put your fabric, this beautiful floral, in the number 1 position, which is the focus position, because of course, this is a gorgeous focus fabric and we want all of the attention on it. So we have chosen our Evening Stroll pattern with the nice big block here so that it will really showcase your fabric. That is very important. Go backwards a little bit and remind you of our first and second tips. Our first tip being scale. So Diann's fabric is a nice large scale, so it's going to work beautifully in this nice big block. Our second tip is to choose 2 companions that are a little bit more subtle that will enhance and highlight the focus fabric. Now, our number 3 tip, whenever you're doing the 2 companions that are a little bit more subtle, use a pattern like Evening Stroll that has some interest for fabric 2 and 3, so that the interest does not come from the fabric to compete with the focus, but it comes from the piecing. So let's go through our fabric stack here and just tell you the placement. So of course our focus goes in the nice big block. We have paired it with a nice creamy white, and it picks up the creamy whites in her background here. That is going to be everywhere the light blue is. Now this is going to be against the focus fabric, as you can see here, and that way it really pops. This focus fabric's really going to pop off. Then our number 3 fabric, we have this gorgeous red. Now this red has highs and lows. It has light reds and it has very dark reds. Her fabric, Diann, your fabric in your flower has low reds and very high, bright, dark reds. So this works perfectly. It is going to go where the darker blue and purple is here. And what this does is it gives you like a nice intricate frame around your focus fabric, almost like those really beautiful frames that are very ornate, that highlights a beautiful piece of art, because your fabric is like a beautiful piece of art. So I think this is going to be amazing. Actually, it is amazing. Let's look at that image so that everybody can see how well this came together. So we have, Diann, your fabric in that large square focus fabric, beautiful, perfect scale. Then we have our 2 more simple fabrics, our white and our red, and you can see how it frames it nicely, but those frames are not boring. The piecing on the pattern of the Evening Stroll really helps highlight your focus fabric, and it's just beautiful. I really, really love this. It is so great. So Diann, I want to mention that for participating today, I am going to be sending you 1 yard of your number 2 and 1 yard of your number 3 that are perfectly matched to your focus. And of course, we're going to send you the book, 1 Block 3 Yard Quilts, which has our evening stroll pattern in it. Okay, so Diann has inspired a beautiful kit that is very similar to hers, but not exact. Sometimes these fabrics are super hard for me to find. This one is beautiful. We have something very similar. We have wonderful pink and raspberry flowers, lots of extra color in here. We have our greens, all on a dark background. And they're all outlined with that little bit of metallic, just like Diann's fabric had. So this is gorgeous. This is going to go in our #1 spot, nice big block, so it really showcases our focus. Now we have chosen a #2 that, of course, is that creamy warm white. It's going to pick up all of our creams in our focus fabric. It's going to go where the blue is. So remember, this borders this fabric, so it's going to really help that focus pop. Then our #3, and I just love this. This is like this raspberry color with all of the sprinkles of gold on it. It almost makes me think of fairy dust or something. My youthfulness is coming out. So this is such a pretty, pretty fabric. It will go everywhere the blueprint is here. And as you can see, it really brings life to the focus fabric, which is what we're trying to do here, is to really highlight that focus fabric. And it is so, so pretty. Let's check out the image. As you can see, we've got that great focus in the big block, nice scale, nice simple companions that really draw interest in a pattern that works perfectly to enhance our focus fabric. So really, really beautiful quilt. Our kit information on this one, it is called Garden Showcase. The pattern is Evening Stroll, and it is from our 1 Block 3 Yard Quilts book. I want to thank all of the participants today for sending in your fabric. We really appreciate all of the beautiful, beautiful things that you share with us, and sometimes those little secrets which can kind of pop up. Really enjoyed the stories. Thank you all. Now, if you would like to participate in our Matchmaker series, be sure to go to our website, fabriccafe.com, click on the free goodies tab and do the pull down menu, and we will have a submission form there. I do prefer a 12-inch swatch. It really helps with matching. So be sure and send those swatches in. I would love to hear your story and how you acquired your fabric. Now, if you enjoyed this video matching all of these florals, be sure to check out the video that pops up on the screen. It's Fran Morgan, your fabric matchmaker.